This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. Interest rates are going up again. The Federal Reserve says it's an effort to give the economy another inflation inoculation.
The Fed raised interest rates one more time today to try to slow the economy down a bit and prevent an outbreak of inflation. CBS News business correspondent Ray Brady looks at what's behind the latest rate hike and what it may mean to you.
The people responsible for raising interest rates came together again today, and behind closed doors they boosted short-term interest rates 0.5 percentage point, the fifth rise this year. They are worried about early signs of inflation. Lumber prices for housing are up sharply. So's paperboard for boxes and steel for cars. All increases that could hit consumer wallets down the road.
What the Fed wants to do is nip that inflation in the bud before we begin to see a significant acceleration.
Labor costs also worry the Fed. In some factories and in housing, such as in Lincoln, Nebraska, employers are scrambling for skilled workers.
25 very talented people walked in the next 2 or 3 days, we would hire every one of them.
Higher interest rates could help keep the economy on an even keel. That's why Wall Street sent the Dow Jones average up more than 24 points today. But on the Senate floor, they broke into the health care debate to lambast the Fed's action.
Their action today is going to hurt people. It's going to cause working families to have a reduction in their income and their standard of living. Because
variable rate mortgages, home equity loans, and credit cards all will go up another 0.5 percentage point. On the bright side, for savers, CD rates could reach as high as 4 to 4.5%. Will there be more increases? Consumers may get a rest, at least for a while. A lot depends on the economy, but the belief is the Federal Reserve won't raise interest rates again until sometime after the November elections. Ray Brady, CBS News, New York.
Parts of the southeastern United States took a real battering today, economic and otherwise, from the latest wave of wild summer weather. A tornado slammed into downtown Lexington, South Carolina this afternoon, injuring dozens as the aftermath of Tropical Storm Beryl rolled through Florida and Georgia. Correspondent Diana Gonzalez is watching the weather.
A tornado tore through a suburb of Columbia, South Carolina, demolishing a strip of stores, horrifying the people inside.
And it came through and we were all back on the floor, and I was praying to God that he would keep us safe and save us.
This was just one of about a half-dozen twisters spawned by the unstable air in advance of Beryl, a tropical depression making its way across the south.
Everything, trash cans, anything that could move.
When it came on land last night over the Florida Panhandle, Beryl was a full-fledged tropical storm with 50-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rain. Today, coastal areas are trying to dry out.
And of course, inside the shop, it's just a mess. I mean, I got floating stuff everywhere.
A familiar feeling in South Georgia, where Beryl headed next, following the same path of Alberto, the storm that just 6 weeks ago caused the worst flooding in this state's history. Gloria Peters is working to rebuild her preschool in the Albany neighborhood hardest hit.
I just got all over again afraid of what might happen. It really hurt.
Calls to the state's flood stress hotline have increased in the last 24 hours. Mental health counselors say for many, the threat of another storm, while Albany struggles to recover, is just too much, too soon.
There's much more apprehension.
Alma Flowers is a volunteer crisis counselor helping flood victims deal with the emotional aftermath.
The level of stress has gone up, the level of fear.
But this time, Albany was spared. The weather system did not stall over Georgia like Alberto did. Beryl is now on another path of destruction. Diana Gonzalez, CBS News, Albany.
And if all that's not enough, the National Weather Service reports tonight a third wave is on the way. Tropical Storm Chris, the third of the season, has formed far out in the Atlantic. Winds at 40 miles an hour already expected to get stronger over the next day. Connie?
Rain would be a welcome sight in parts of the West where forest fires are burning out of control. In Idaho, 2 big fires may soon become one enormous fire. If that happens, experts say it could burn for weeks across an area half the size of Rhode Island. In California, Sandra Hughes reports a fire someone set has forced hundreds of families to run for their lives.
In the mountainous terrain of Central California, Georgia Golding made her life, built her home, and ran her business. The arson fire, which has charred more than 41,000 acres here and destroyed 20 homes, burned down her dream late last night.
Got very little, few clothes and a few pictures, and that's it.
Georgia Golding was away on business. Her son and daughter-in-law tried to save the homestead.
It was like 5 o'clock and we came here and we started loading up. We had about 25 minutes and it just came over the hill, and I mean, it was within seconds. It just enclosed on us, and we were driving out and the fire was on us.
So far, the structural damage has been limited to very isolated areas. There is concern for surrounding communities, but only if the wind takes a dramatic shift. So as a precautionary measure, several hundred people have been evacuated. The fire was started on Sunday by an arsonist who homeowners believe has struck before.
I call him Bernie, but he's burned it last year. He burned 15 acres here last year. Every year he's burned for the last 8 years.
I've been doing this for 33 years, and this is probably the worst I've seen in my career.
Fires currently raging across the West have consumed more than 350,000 acres. The worst blaze in rural Washington has once again flared up, putting weary firefighters back on alert. In Idaho, where 2 blazes are burning out of control, officials fear if conditions persist, the flames could consume an area half the size of Rhode Island. And in Central California, where temperatures have soared above normal for more than a week, firefighters have yet to gain the upper hand. There is still no prediction on when this fire will be contained. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, San Luis Obispo.
Coming up next, a CBS News exclusive. A grand jury investigates Al Collins' role in the O.J. Simpson case.
And later, Eye on America. Tonight, a high-tech chase to catch deadbeat parents.
My basic love of dogs and my experience breeding dogs makes me enjoy my career as a veterinarian even more.
David Qualls, top breeder of champion Siberian Huskies and doctor of veterinary medicine.
We give our dogs pedigree as a source of meat in their diet. When you open a can of Choice Cuts, there's big meaty chunks and a rich brown gravy. You can really smell the meatiness. Pedigree contains no soy. Pedigree is a very digestible and very nutritious dog food. For my money, Pedigree is the best dog food you can buy.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Just how nutritious is Kellogg's Complete Bran Flakes?
Let's have this today.
No, please! Anything but that one!
Complete Bran Flakes has twice the fiber of that cereal.
Or maybe that one.
I don't think so.
Complete Bran Flakes has twice the vitamins and minerals of that. The only one with high fiber plus 14 vitamins and minerals, even beta-carotene.
How about Complete Bran Flakes?
Yes!
High fiber plus vitamins and minerals.
Perfect.
Kellogg's Complete Bran Flakes.
Yes!
One of the ongoing mysteries in the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman is the role of defendant O.J. Simpson's lifelong friend Al Cowlings. Cowlings has never spoken publicly about the case, and the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office has not filed any charges against him, at least not yet. But now, as correspondent Bill Whitaker reports, Cowlings is the subject of a grand jury investigation.
CBS News has learned the current Los Angeles County Grand Jury is issuing new subpoenas in connection with the O.J. Simpson double murder case. Several sources close to the case indicate the prosecution is using the grand jury to complete its investigation into whether Simpson's close friend Al Cowlings acted as an accessory after the fact, which could be anything from helping Simpson flee to covering up evidence. Presented with sufficient evidence, a grand jury could issue an indictment.
Because O.J. Simpson has already been charged, the prosecution is not allowed to use the grand jury to do discovery or fishing expedition to give them evidence for the Simpson trial. But they can use the grand jury to investigate other people's possible roles, including that of Al Cowlings.
3 weeks ago, prosecutors decided they did not have enough evidence to file charges against Cowlings, but said their investigation would continue. The grand jury now can look not only into what Cowlings and Simpson did before and during that dramatic low-speed chase.
This is AC. I have O.J. in the car.
But also what happened at the suburban house before Simpson and Cowlings disappeared. It's the home of Simpson's close friend, Robert Kardashian. Sources tell CBS News subpoenas have been issued to a number of people who were at the house that morning, including, say the sources, Kardashian, who read Simpson's goodbye letter.
Thanks for making my life special. I hope I helped yours. Peace and love,
O.J.
CBS News has learned that at this time, Al Cowlings has not been subpoenaed. Some grand jury testimony is scheduled for next week. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The reputed terror mastermind Carlos the Jackal was taken to court today in Paris. After trying to crack jokes with the judge, he was ordered held for murder. Carlos, seen here in rare videotape taken by Hungarian secret police in 1980, has hired the same lawyer who defended the late Gestapo officer Klaus Barbie. Police in Germany today reported yet another seizure of weapons-grade plutonium, the fourth this year. The smuggled plutonium was seized and a former East German arrested at the train station in Bremen. Officials say former East German security agents appear to be involved in the smuggling operation using sources in Russia.
Stay here with us now for more of the CBS Evening News, including the U.S. military. Is it still ready for action anywhere, anytime?
While some off-road tires may take you there, Coopers are designed to also bring you back. Cooper, your next set of tires.
Tell me there's a better pain reliever because it works all day. I'm interested. Tell me it's Tylenol. I'm there.
Introducing new Tylenol Extended Relief. For common arthritis pain, tough headaches, even body aches, its unique bi-layer system has more medicine than ever, so it relieves pain up to twice as long as before.
I put in a lot of hours out here. Now my pain reliever does too. I feel good that it lasts longer. I feel even better that it's Tylenol.
It's the only long-lasting pain reliever that won't irritate your stomach.
It keeps working. I keep working. Perfect. For me, it's the best Tylenol ever.
New Tylenol Extended Relief. Because a full day's work deserves a full day's relief.
For advice about cholesterol, see your doctor. But to simply get your cholesterol number in about 15 minutes, there's a home test as accurate as those used by doctors. The new Johnson & Johnson Advanced Care Cholesterol Test. No appointment needed.
The popularity of Cooper tires may surprise you, but it certainly doesn't surprise our dealers. Cooper, your next set of tires.
When these three civil rights workers were murdered in Mississippi, some shocking facts never came to light.
This is a part of Mississippi's dark, dark past.
Did a shadowy state commission give information to the Klan before the murders? See an Eye on America investigation tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
The most ambitious attempt by Cubans to flee the United States since the Mariel boat lift failed when 700 people left a tanker they occupied over the weekend. Meantime, among the Cubans rescued by the Coast Guard yesterday is 8-year-old Daniel Buzo, who was found floating alone, clinging to a piece of wood. Other Cubans say his mother gave him the family's only life vest moments before their boat capsized and both parents drowned. The Pentagon reports growing unrest at the Guantanamo naval base in Cuba among more than 15,000 Haitian refugees. A spokesman referred to a protest last weekend which turned violent and left 20 U.S. MPs and 45 Haitians injured. The refugees have been barred from entering the United States, and officials say frustration levels at Guantanamo are rising.
Guantanamo is just one of many spots around the globe where the U.S. military is on call. But is U.S. military readiness to fight suffering, with American forces being asked to do more and more with fewer people and resources? Case in point, the U.S. Marines, who finally came home to Camp Lejeune today. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin was with them.
For these Marines, that land up ahead is a rare sight.
Finally home.
Their home base in North Carolina.
They deployed on the 6th of January and headed right into Somalia.
This Marine unit executed the final pullout of American troops from Somalia and returned home. 10 days later, it was ordered out again, this time to Haiti, caught in the crunch between decreasing forces and increasing missions.
As our force structure has gotten small, probably too small, and as our operational tempo increases, something has to give.
The first thing to give is people. Family separation hurts morale and drives people out of the service. The next thing to go is readiness. With Haiti costing the Atlantic Fleet $20 million a month,
we're going to have to tie up ships and park airplanes, and we're having to do that this year in substantial numbers.
Right now, military readiness is rated acceptable, but there are enough warning signs that the armed forces are being asked to do too much with too little that a panel of retired admirals and generals recently warned the Secretary of Defense the U.S. could slip back into the hollow army days of the 1970s. Defense Secretary Perry knows readiness is his #1 problem, but when he visited the Marines today in North Carolina, he couldn't make the promise they wanted to hear.
I would like to have promised them that the next big deployment wouldn't occur till December '95. But the fact is, all I can promise them is that that's what the plan is.
If there is another crisis, this Marine may have to break his promise.
You're not going to leave for a while. I know, I won't. It'll be the last time for a long time.
David Martin, CBS News, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, new research about estrogen therapy for women who have had cancer.
This is a square inch. This is a wheat thin. A wheat thin is the most real food deliciousness you can get in a square inch. The most genuine toastiness, the most baked-in crunchiness, the most deep-down munchiness, the most nuttiness, the most dippiness, the most flippiness, the most snackiness, the most lip-smackiness you can get in a square inch. Wheat Thins, the most taste you can get in a square inch.
Nabisco. I still remember getting my first candy from my grandfather. It was Werther's Original, and I was 4. I remember opening that golden wrapper and then that first taste. Sweet and creamy and just plain good. I felt I was really somebody special when Grandpa gave me his wonderful butter candy. Now I'm the grandfather.
And what else would I give my grandson but Werther's Original?
He's somebody special too.
Cleanse yourself with 100% soap-free and fragrance-free Alpha Hydrox. Refresh yourself with a natural Alpha Hydrox solution that can reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Moisturize yourself with products to nurture and protect your beautiful new skin. Save yourself with amazingly effective Alpha Hydrox products under $10 each. Now you know the naked truth about skincare. The cleansers, treatments, and moisturizers of Alpha Hydrox.
The new Accord EX Coupe. There's more horsepower. Handling and comfort are perfectly balanced. It has dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. We've taken it about as far as you can go. The new Accord EX Coupe from Honda.
This is where a mother left her 5 young children home alone. And if you think that's bad, wait till you see Throwaway Kids, 48 Hours Wednesday.
In Washington, President Clinton's drive to save the anti-crime bill is slow going at best tonight. The problem? Trying to get at least 8 House members to switch and vote yes without losing any of the yes votes the president had before. White House correspondent Rita Braver reports tonight the solution could entail backing down and giving in to the gun lobby on the provision banning 19 types of assault weapons and trims in some of the crime prevention spending. In the Senate, the debate over reform of the nation's health insurance system could be moving finally tonight from all talk to at least some sort of action. Our chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer has the latest on that.
At the foot of Capitol Hill, Mrs. Clinton and a lobby group reminded Congress that every minute the debate goes on, someone loses health insurance. But it's hard to know who to believe about the bulky legislation being debated. Republicans rolled out charts to show the Democrats' health plan would reduce the insurance choices available to consumers.
So President Clinton's statement said you can keep your own plan, frankly, is not true.
But using their own figures, Democrats said the legislation did no such thing.
No, our bill expands choice. Our bill increases consumer choice. Right now, with respect to health plans, most Americans have no choice at all.
Meanwhile, a bipartisan group of senators kept trying to shape a compromise. They haven't found one yet, but more and more Democrats are saying the only hope for health care now is finding something Republicans can agree on too.
I don't think you can ram
health care reform proposal down the Senate's throat or the country's throat.
By mid-afternoon, Democrats predicted Republicans would at least allow some votes to avoid those round-the-clock sessions the Democratic Majority Leader has threatened.
Well, as I said, I think the prospects of senators having to be in adjoining cots is less appealing than voting on my amendment.
And sure enough, during a late-afternoon strategy session with the chairman of the Republican National Committee, the Republicans agreed to allow a vote on the first Democratic proposal to expand health benefits for children.
So there will be no round-the-clock Senate sessions tonight, and the process is finally underway, but don't make too much of it. On the long and tortuous road to health care reform, this legislation is still about an inch from the starting line. Dan?
Okay, Bob Schieffer live on Capitol Hill.
Medical researchers are out tonight with new findings about the possible link between estrogen therapy and an increased risk of cancer in some women. This latest study plays down the risk, but it's only the latest in a series of conflicting studies. CBS News health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has the facts in this long-running controversy.
Breast cancer survivors like Sissy Thunander suffer the ravages of menopause without relief because doctors have long feared that treatment with a hormone estrogen could cause a new cancer.
I can manage the short-term effects of menopause, but the long-term effects do scare me.
Estrogen can both lessen the symptoms of menopause and reduce those long-term effects. Without estrogen, women like Sissy face a far greater risk of stroke, heart attack, and osteoporosis. Now, a highly controversial special article in tomorrow's Journal of the American Medical Association disputes the dangers of estrogen, stating, the studies do not consistently demonstrate an increased risk of breast cancer among women who have used estrogen replacement therapy. Officials at the National Cancer Institute believe that could be a dangerous conclusion until much better research is undertaken.
There's no role for estrogen replacement therapy in the routine care of breast cancer survivors.
Study author Dr. Melody Cobley says that a bias has long stood in the way of better research on estrogen use.
I think that in general for cancer patients our society has a cancerism type of attitude that, look, at least you're alive, don't complain.
But until the final answers are in, breast cancer survivors are best advised to undertake an aggressive preventive medicine program that includes regular exercise and a diet low in fat and high in calcium. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
And coming up next, Eye on America. Tonight, deadbeat parents running into rough seas.
Attention heartburn sufferers.
If antacids work, why do I keep getting heartburn?
You know, frequent heartburn may be a sign of a more serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor?
A new wind is rising, bringing change. Bringing the all-new Ford Windstar. A totally new minivan. Windstar is the only minivan that combines standard dual airbags, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. Plus, it meets all passenger car safety standards. It's safety that takes the minivan in a whole new direction. The all-new front-wheel drive Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today.
I was worried I needed surgery for my hemorrhoids. The itching, irritation, and painful burning were awful. I asked my son to come to the doctor with me. I didn't know who was worried more. The doctor said my hemorrhoids weren't serious. I don't need surgery. He said to use Preparation H specifically by name. That's what I'll trust.
Preparation H, trusted by millions to often help relieve those intense hemorrhoidal symptoms of itching, burning, and painful irritation for hours.
Trusting Preparation H was wise.
Trust. Doctor recommended Preparation H.
This helps diagnose arthritis. To effectively relieve the minor pain of arthritis, use this, Advil. Advil works directly at the site of pain. It's fast and gentler to your stomach than aspirin. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
At Red Lobster, for a short time, we're bringing together your 3 favorite kinds of shrimp. It's our shrimp trio, just $9.99. Overflowing with grilled shrimp, tender golden fried shrimp, and sizzling shrimp scampi. All the luscious shrimp you love best, all on one plate. It's our shrimp trio, just $9.99. But hurry, favorites like these will be going fast at Red Lobster tonight.
When President Clinton announced his plan for overhauling the welfare system, he promised the toughest crackdown ever on deadbeat parents, fathers and mothers who are delinquent in child support payments. Well, a national welfare overhaul is still a long way off. In the meantime, some states are imposing their own Get Tough policies, as Wyatt Andrews reports in tonight's Eye on America.
We're taking possession of that boat which belongs to James Marconi.
Police in Massachusetts are seizing James Marconi's 30-foot powerboat because they say he owes $24,000 in back child support, not back taxes.
We're going to try to contact him, give him an opportunity to come down here and see if he can straighten us out with us.
Back child support. Marconi was not at his yacht club to witness the seizure, but as an investigator spoke the magic words into his answering machine.
The boat has been seized for non-payment of child support. Thank you very much. If you do not come here with it, but hello, Mr. Marconi?
Marconi himself picked up the phone.
Yeah. Okay, we've just seized your boat, sir. Did he deserve this?
Yes, he did.
According to his ex-wife Deborah, Marconi has kept the boat at a yacht club north of Boston while missing almost all of his child support payments and while she and the children spent 2 years on welfare.
He spent more money on his boat in the last 4 years than he has on his children. And I don't think that's fair. They've gone without.
James Marconi would not go on camera, but he told us on the phone he has boxes of receipts to prove he has paid child support. He will need them.
One of the reasons Massachusetts is able to get so tough on delinquent parents is that the job of child support enforcement here is done by the Department of Revenue. In other words, the state's equivalent of the IRS.
Under a new state law, when a court order for child support falls delinquent, it registers on the same computer system used to collect taxes. The law now allows tax collectors not only to seize any asset, but to revoke the driver's license or the occupational license of any parent behind in child support. By any measure, these are extraordinary, almost Orwellian powers.
I don't think you can be too extreme when someone has abandoned his children.
The Commissioner of Revenue, Mitchell Adams, says just the threat of losing licenses or assets gets many deadbeat parents to pay.
It's like with a mule. Sometimes the only way you can get the thing's attention is by slamming it between the eyes with a tube of fork.
I'm not a deadbeat dad. I'm not at all.
But Mark McIsaac calls the new law abusive. The state has threatened to take away his electrician's license, his livelihood, he complains, when he's only $3,000 behind, he says, and willing to pay.
By taking away your license, that's taking away everything. Who's going to benefit from that?
McIsaac's ex-wife Linda, though, says the figure is more like $13,000 and that Mark is willing to pay only because of the threat.
These delinquent parents have had more than enough opportunity to take care of it before it got to this point.
The battle to win child support is one that children generally are losing. The lack of child support creates an estimated 1/4 of the national welfare bill, and there is another $7 billion gap between the support courts have ordered for children and what actually gets paid. That's why, in Massachusetts, the taxman cometh. In Lynn, Massachusetts, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
A little tight tonight, folks, so time to say good night.
Good night, everyone.
This is CBS.